Hey, Flimsy Lunch Tray for a video for you today. I'm filming this one a little bit in advance, so hopefully give you something else to watch during the 5 weeks of my travels. So it'll be sometime in that span when this video goes up. Today I have a battle in the Neptune in Ranked in Hotspot in Domination mode. For some reason when I did record this video, my microphone decided to turn on without telling me to turn on, so you'll be hearing a lot of clicking from my keyboard, and then probably also some sighs of breath. This battle is probably one of the strangest battles, or top 3 strangest battles I've ever played in World of Warships. From my memory recollection, this should have been a battle that was superbly easy to win. But that is not the case. And that is, as you've seen from the title, it's when your team is allergic to caps. Oh my. So you're going to see a bit of my frustration with my teammates when it comes to completely ignoring, what is that supposed to be, C cap? Can't tell on my screen. But the larger, the 3 caps, they completely ignore capping it, and my frustrations with not having a CV player supporting me. That would have helped me resolve a situation, a battle I'm going to be facing here at, I think it's A cap I'm actually heading towards right now. Yeah, C is the larger cap that my team ignores, and then heading towards A cap myself. So starting out here, I'm solo on this flank, which is fine. I feel comfortable and confident enough in the Neptune to be able to handle this flank by myself, between having the hydroacoustic search, good heals, rapid rate of fire, and utilizing the smoke as well. And even the AA is rather good, so that's going to work rather well for us here. So I can already see that Bravo is being capped, and so I know that there's a destroyer heading towards this area, most likely once he finishes the cap. So I'll be keeping my eye out for that. And you can see with our AA that we pretty much just demolished that enemy Lexington squadron. He really wasn't doing a good job avoiding the flat clouds. So we'll punish him for that. And also 1 tier up higher on him is rather nice. We are going to dump some preemptive torpedoes in case the destroyer decides to push up this way. As of right now, I know the enemy destroyer will either push directly in towards Alpha, or he will move between the islands to outside of the right of the screen. Now, one of the things I always do sigh about is having a Polio Emilio player on my team. If I was a betting man, probably 80 to 90% of the matches every time there's a Polio Emilio on my team or the enemy team, they just yell the opening 4 minutes of the match. And you can see that is indeed what our Polio Emilio player is doing. And he's going to take the Amagi, but the Pomerant is going to kill him. So it's just a 1v1 trade. So in my opinion, it wasn't so great if it would have been a 2 to 1 trade, but a lot of Polio Emilio players see what other Polio Emilio players, YouTube content creators, do on YouTube and think they can do the same. Sea-Lord is, I think, pretty good with the Polio Emilio. I've seen him take down 3 ships for the cost of his 1, which is great. But then I've seen others that do not do too well. Now, I still haven't seen a destroyer on this flank, which is a bit worrisome. So I should be popping my hydroacoustic search because I'm concerned that he may be coming up around the corner of my island to the right. And indeed, there he is, dumping torpedoes. Now, honestly, it wasn't really to this battle that I realized how good the AP is on the Morgador. It kind of took me a minute to realize I'm actually being chunked rather significantly. So I go ahead and angle more there, and then you can see he's really doing minimal damage. But I decide I want all my guns on him, and that is actually going to cost me, and it is a decision I wish I hadn't made, because it's going to cost me unnecessary health in dealing with this Mogador. So we got rid of him, and now I know it's important for me to smoke and go dark as the enemy Alaska pushes in. At this point, it'd be really helpful to have my carrier player, if he's able to fly planes over here. But for now, I'm just assuming he's going to push into the cap. So we drop some torpedoes blind, and then I'm going to turn back to the left here as I get radared. And attempt to just mitigate as much damage as possible with these salvos. Now, if you can see, my whole team is gone on the 9-10 line, and there's only one destroyer in Charlie Cap, but yet my team will not push in. So that's going to put us in a disadvantage the longer they wait on capping. And so I'm clicking on the mini-map. I'm telling my team, hey, like, please cap. So the Alaska is going to eat 1 or 2 of our torpedoes here. Yeah, 2, which is going to be helpful. It'd be nice to have a smoke screen to smoke up again at this point, but for now, I'm just going to have to keep applying the pressure and kite, angle, and do the best that I can. So again, the CV player is just flying over our own team and not giving any support to this flank as he rides the A line. So it's just not helpful. Now I did maneuver back to this side to utilize what's left of my smoke screen, because I've got just over 20 seconds of it left, to be able to go dark until my next smoke screen is able to pop up. But you can see we already have 17 defended ribbons. As again, I'm begging my team to cap C. So it's just that allergic cap reaction. Now our team does manage to kill the enemy Lexington, so I don't have to worry about any more planes from him. But you know, when there's blood in the water, when it comes to knowing of an enemy CV in the area, a lot of team just gets rather focused in gung-ho on killing. Now I do go ahead and utilize my propulsion acceleration, where we're going to stop and go a little bit, so you can see that we avoided that 1 salvo. So that's an additional roughly, 30 seconds or between the salvos was just dodging them, so mitigating any damage that we're taking for as long as possible. As we continue to increase our defended ribbons, and we've come to a stop again as the Alaska goes dark, but then he decides it's time to shoot again. And you can see we're going in reverse now, and we didn't take any damage there. So that's the good thing when you're able to utilize the propulsion. So now it'd probably be actually good for me to start accelerating again, because the Alaska could very easily pin me through my deck. As far as I understand with the armor layout, I'm not an armor pro, but the Alaska could potentially do that. So again, we're still dodging his shells, and because I don't have an aircraft carrier spotting for me, if I smoke up, I'm not going to be able to see the Alaska. So that's kind of why I'm being a bit more aggressive here. And then that's when the enemy Lexington plane, even though he died over a minute ago, he still has an influence on the battle, which forces us to actually put it in gear and accelerate. And then I drop the gear down again. We smoke up, and I decide to just keep blind firing. Maybe we can get him a rough idea of where he may or may not be. And in the meantime, our team still hasn't capped. Enemy team still ahead, and because the enemy team, this Alaska, has been preventing any point intake at Alpha, the longer that the Alaska has been able to do this, the more behind in points we become. Now we do finally kill the Alaska, and I've lost a lot of health and able to do that. And we have, was that over 40 defended ribbons, which I don't normally get that many. Very rarely do I ever get more than 10. So yeah, so we basically did by myself, and the whole time we were dealing with that, the two enemy Pomerans are pushing up towards Alpha, so our cap progress is not going to be very, we won't be able to do very much. The Allied Tirpitz pushes in to take C cap, and there is the enemy Z46 in the cap. The Tirpitz does kill the Z46, but the Pomeran in turn kills the Tirpitz, being a bit broadside. And still we're behind, even though we have 5 ships to their 2. Now, I don't have a smoke, because we had to pop it, because I would like to be able to reset both the Pomerans, and only now is the CV decided to help me with his cap, when the help earlier would have been more of an influence, and he's actually heading to the same flank that the Pomerans are pushing on. Where the, and we lose a Utiloi, where it would have been more beneficial for our Lexington player positioning his carrier to go down the 9-10 line with everybody else. So again, this is just a strange battle, as you see me type in comments, as yeah, there's not much I can do with both Pomerans. If I fire and they get their guns on me, I'm sure to die. And so sadly, the Pomeran is able to take the cap, because I don't know, I'm not sure if even the Lexington was even focusing on the one who was capping. So I ask ping the map for my Zumo player to cap Bravo, because we need caps badly at this point, and because only now has my team decided to cap, it's going to be too late. And the longer our Musashi stays dark in the Charlie cap, the better. But I think he's actually firing on them both, which isn't going to help. Now, the two Pomerans are, well, one of them at least is firing at the Allied Lexington. And I'm circling back in. I wasn't sure if the Pomerans were actually going to chase after me, knowing my last location, but it seems they are not going to. So I would have liked to have been a little bit closer to them, and then I could go to our cap more quickly. So the Musashi does manage to take Charlie cap finally at the 7.5 minute mark, when we should have had the cap 5, 6, 8 minutes ago, dare I say. And so we're continuing to work around here. And this is where this is one of the reasons why I believe I played badly with that Morgador and losing that much damage, because having the health pull sooner would have been really helpful versus now, to be able to deal more earlier and probably more effectively with both those Pomerans. And because I have such low health, it's forcing me to play more cautiously than what I would like to in this situation. Now the enemy team is up to over 900 points now, so I'm trying to kill this Pomeran to help give us time to be able to cap A, as I'm going to go to cap A as soon as this Pomeran's dead, because we need it, but in turn we lose our Lexington. So that was just didn't really help. I mean, it helped prevent the enemy team from losing sooner, but or winning sooner. But now the pressure is on to achieve these caps. So if you are, how do I say this? Let's see, what did I say in chat? Use to stop. Yeah, we need to stop their point flow. If you are on a team in this position, on my team, and you see you're with that larger moving force, it's important to cap. Caps are vital and often will be the difference between winning and losing a lot of games, because not always do you actually see a team completely wipe out the enemy team. but it's often decided by points. So you need to be paying attention to the caps to be able to have the best outcome. Our Uzumo player has successfully capped Bravo, and I'm just sliding in here to Alpha now. So we've stopped their points flow, and you can see 5 minutes 46 seconds time to take to win on points at the moment until I get A capped. And so right now that's not enough time because we have 5 minutes left on the clock. Now our Musashi player is making a huge mistake. He does not need to keep pushing into Pomeran. A sniping battleship should not be chasing a brawling battleship. That is always, always, always a bad idea because the Pomeran, not only can he use all 12 of his guns, but his secondaries and also his torpedoes. So the closer the Musashi gets, the more danger and more damage he's going to take from the Pomeran. So, yeah. So you can see now with having 3 caps, we win in just over 3 minutes with 4 minutes left on the clock. But that, of course, depends upon whether our Musashi lives or dies, because if he dies, we will instantly lose the game. He's requesting support, and we're begging him to stop chasing and stop getting any closer to the Pomeran player. Because Pomeran's doing a good job, and, well, he's kind of showing a lot of broadside right now to Musashi, and probably effort to get all of his guns on the Musashi, but yeah. So again, it's just a strange battle, and don't be afraid to use chat or use quick commands to call out on your team when caps need to be taken in that type of situation. I just to have 5 team members all to just or was it 4? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to completely ignore a cap is rather befuddling. And the Musashi cost us the game. Actually, it was more of a team effort, but... So we're going to go and see where we landed up. So this was, I think, when I was grinding for Minotaur. So we had over 108,000 damage, 2 torpedo hits, 48 defended ribbons, 2 destroyed, 2 solo caps with over 10,800 XP and over 2,800 free experience. So yeah, I think that's a defended ribbon record for myself. So naturally, we're going to report the Musashi player for playing poorly, and actually go ahead and give the Uzumo a compliment because he did listen to me and he did go cap, which meant that the game lasted a bit longer, but not enough in the end. And we did over 77,000 damage to Alaska, 23. Well, it took Morgador for all of his health. And then Pomeran did a little bit of damage on him when one of our players finally killed him. Credits and XP wise, almost 500,000 total received. Yeah, so that definitely goes a long way when you are able to use a lot of ribbons. The funny thing is that base XP wise, I would have landed second on the enemy team. And I was even on a loss. I think almost 2,000 base XP on a loss. And a lot of that is to deal with the 2 solo ribbons captures and the 48 defended ribbons. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of you out there have also seen this allergicness to caps that your team has. Yeah, so it's one of the strange battles that I've played in World of Warships in this given situation when it could have easily been a win. So take this to note for yourself if you ever find yourself in this situation, and how you can better help your team win maybe in a circumstance like this. And don't be afraid to encourage your team to cap if they're ignoring to cap in chat, but politely, not calling them idiots and stuff like that. So if you liked today's battle, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have subscribed, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. And until next time, take care.